So, welcome back to Deep Roots Wellness Podcast, where we go beneath the surface to explore the deeper layers of healing, energy, and consciousness. I am so ready for our conversation this evening. So, we have the founder of Embodied Microdosing with me tonight. This ministry's approach blends somatic awareness, nervous system regulation, and intentional microdosing to support deep healing and emotional integration. I am so excited to dive into some of these topics with Ry Battiste. Ry, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me onto your awesome podcast.
Yes, I had the chills the whole time I was introducing you because I'm so excited about this conversation.
Oh, me too, Jennifer.
So let's start with your story. So, what led you to the path of embodiment and eventually creating embodied microdosing?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. I, I thought I had my shit together when I was in my late 30s. I was
Didn't we all?
Right, yes. I was a
Mm-hmm.
health coach. I coached other people on how to have a healthy life and lifestyle. I had 2 kids, 2 boys. I meditated. I had a good relationship with my husband, and I just felt like, okay, I'm a guide. I'm a leader in this world. And just in the way that God humbles us, I hit a really dark period postpartum with my second. Really, when I look back at it, it just had started in pregnancy, and those couple of traumatic things happen. I had a falling out with a close friend of many years and a really bad ending to the friendship, and it just started to unravel me, right? And it's really never the trauma, the thing that happens in the moment. It's what it starts to unravel that was
Mm-hmm.
unresolved in the past. And that really happened for me in my 38th and 39th year. And so as I approached my 40th birthday, I just kept getting more and more unstable in what I was doing. Suddenly I didn't love my work anymore, and that fell apart. Yeah, I started to hit a rocky patch in my marriage. Motherhood became extremely challenging with 2 kids. And I felt this darkness really like nothing I had ever experienced before, where I was terrified a lot of the time. I was constantly ungrounded. I felt constantly anxious. I couldn't fall asleep. And then I couldn't get out of bed in the morning once I'd fallen asleep. I'd gotten into that really unhealthy pattern of just being mentally and physically unwell. My physical health hit a wall, autoimmune diagnoses began to
Yep.
emerge. And, that story that so many women have, inflammation, no
Yes.
matter what I ate or what I did or how many supplements I choked down, I just was not well. And
Mm-hmm.
so at some point in this darkness, a very dear friend gave me a spice jar filled with ground up psilocybin mushrooms that her husband was microdosing. And she said, I feel like you need these right now. You just take a pinch, just take a little pinch of it
Just
every
a
couple of
pinch.
just a little. And this was 2017. There was almost next to nothing online
Yeah.
about microdosing. It just was unheard of. So, okay, I just set about to experiment. And over the next year or two, I took various doses and began to work with and be in communion with the sacred mushroom. And at the same time, reached out to a coach friend who was doing ancestral healing work. And she was
Mm-hmm.
taking me into these healing spaces, asking me to connect to grandmothers and grandfathers and people in my lineage and stuff that I'd never done before. And in
Mm-hmm.
combination with the sacred mushroom, a whole new landscape opened.
Wow.
A whole new world. And
Mm-hmm.
suddenly I built an altar in my bedroom. And, in those moments when I'd hit the wall with my kids, I'd run to my altar, just like praying for the first time in 30 years, right? Coming
Yes.
spirituality, coming back to God. Oh my gosh, there's something here for me. Suddenly I was in conversation and I wasn't alone
Mm-hmm.
anymore. And so that low went on for a few more years for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
ended up leaving my entire life. My husband and my kids and we all packed up a car full of 2 cars full of stuff and moved to the country to 100 acres in South Carolina on my parents' land. And then I embarked on healing my relationship with my mother predominantly in order to stay here and have a successful family experience. And um I've been humbled. I'm still humbled over and over and over again at how human I am, how human we all are. how much there is to how much opportunity I have to meet myself with greater and greater levels of compassion and love and
Yes.
understanding, and therefore be able to meet others with greater levels of compassion and grace and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It all starts with me, and I sort of accidentally in my health coaching practice, clients saying like, "What are you doing? And can I have some?" And
Because so they could tell a difference.
yeah, everyone
Yeah.
could. I mean, I really emerged as a different version of myself, and it was all happening right around my 40th year. So there was this whole midlife
Yeah.
shift happening within me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And my practice very quickly, I found a breathwork training that literally fell in my lap. I did breathwork once and then handed this woman everything in my savings account. And I was like, I know this is a huge yes for me. This is a missing
Mm-hmm.
piece for me. I knew embodiment was missing. I had been coaching and mindset work for 10 years. So it was like, boom, I found my body. I had a body. This is where all the trauma was. And
Mm-hmm.
in doing my own work, I just began to gather community to do the work with me. And even within my community, I don't profess to be finished or far more advanced than anybody else. I'm like right there in the trenches with
Mm-hmm.
them, maybe a few steps ahead, looking back, offering a hand, saying, "Hey, there's some pricker bushes up here. Like, y'all want to
Yes.
like, and I got you. I got you. I got you." I see myself as a trail guide.
Mhm. Oh wow. That is such a beautiful story. And the fact that it's so incredible because you were in the middle of like coaching and all the stuff, and then you hit a wall. And I heard someone say, they told me just a few days ago that when you feel like that you've awakened, and I know that's not exactly what we're talking about, but I mean it's the same concept, and you feel like you're there, then all of a sudden it's like you start peeling back the onion a little bit more, and then boom, you just hit another wall, or you just hit this, and it's just another learning opportunity. And so we're never actually there. We're always growing, we're always evolving.
I do joke that like the moment before I die, it'll be like, like,
Yes, and you're gone. Yep.
yeah, I never use the word healed, right? That's never
No,
like this final thing at
it's a
all,
healing journey.
for
It's
sure.
yeah, we're always on the journey. Um, so explain what trauma informed practitioner. I know that that is some of the verbiage that is used. So tell me what that is, because I when I was reading, and I've heard your podcast, I want to talk about that, but I've heard trauma informed practitioner. So tell me what that is.
Yeah, and it is such a trendy term, so I appreciate you asking this question.
Mm-hmm.
I have received trauma training. So the first thing you want to make sure when someone is saying they're trauma informed is that, yeah, in the 10-month-long breathwork facilitator training I did with Pause Breathwork, I received a really beautiful education on how the nervous system works specifically.
Mm.
Beyond just being able to say, well, that person's in fight or flight, right? Like we all can
Right.
kind of like throw the lingo around, but it really
It's
is.
not the fact that we've all been through trauma, so we're all trauma informed. You actually go
Yeah,
through.
exactly. We all have trauma at varying layers and degrees, and some of us are much more high functioning than others, so we can look at
Yes.
those lower functioning ones and say, "Oh, they just couldn't get it together," right? And meanwhile,
Yeah.
perfectionist driven, achievement oriented trauma response
Yes.
is rewarded in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's really just an understanding of how trauma shapes someone, so that when you are sitting with someone who is defensive or in resistance or experiencing freeze or shutting down, you're not
Mm-hmm.
just looking at them like I did in my coaching years, is like their mindset just isn't strong enough, or they just don't have enough
Mm-hmm.
willpower, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
they just can't get it together in some way, shape, or form. They just need a boot camp, right? Like, really, what a trauma informed practitioner is doing is helping someone experience, maybe for the first time in their life, what it feels like to be safe, to
Mm.
feel safe with someone. And my responsibility as a trauma informed practitioner is to show up at all of my appointments, at all of my group sessions with my own nervous system regulated, as anchored as I can
Yes.
be, right? Because I'm not
Yes.
there to like teach it. I'm there to hold it, to hold the
Yeah.
energy of it, right? And that's really the
Mm-hmm.
sacred work, to be the embodiment of that. And so that, because we co-regulate, right? Like it's like children and moms and parents, right? And
Absolutely.
we're all raised by parents who were not regulated, right? So we're all learning how to actually do that in real
No, not that I have no idea what you're talking about.
time. And just like healing is not this destination, being regulated is not some sort of like prize that you arrive at and then you're
Yeah.
there, right? Like last week, I got thrown into a trigger and I got to feel myself in
Hmm.
the face having the symptoms. And I was like, oh my gosh, I used to feel like this all the
All
time.
the time.
Yes,
Yes.
all the time, heart palpitations, on edge, road raging, like all of the things. And last week when I got thrown into it, the beautiful shift is that I was able to really witness myself in it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my love, this is happening to you. And this is so unsettling. And
Yes.
come here, I've got you. And to just like love and nurture myself back to a place of regulation, because
Hmm.
that's a healthy nervous system, one that is flexible. We need to be able to become dysregulated,
Yep.
aroused. We get around, we would need to be able to have sex. We wouldn't have sex if we were regulated all the time. Like aroused
Right. You're right.
important.
Hmm.
Get anything done. We wouldn't accomplish our to-do list. We do need that arousal state, that stress response.
Hmm.
Stress itself is not unhealthy. It's the chronic state of it, not being able to swing back into regulation. So being trauma informed, it also is, it's about being very invitational. You give everyone a choice, right? So even in a breathwork journey, I'll say, you may want to hold your breath now, or I'll invite you into a guided visualization, but it's always your choice. Always your choice. Same with a breathing pattern. If the pattern is in through the nose and out through the mouth, right? Someone may do it that way. Someone with a lot of trauma and dysregulation may need it to look like
Hmm.
breathwork facilitators out there telling you it's got to
Yeah.
be stronger,
No.
it's got to be harder, it's got to be faster. It's a very masculine paradigm around breathwork. And
Yes.
yeah, like you are going to get someone running out the door and never doing breathwork again because
Hmm.
their nervous system that's not within their window of tolerance to expand that quickly or to be that confronting with their experience of their body. So little baby steps. This is why we're
Hmm.
microdosing. This is why breathwork can be 30 seconds, right? And people think, oh, well,
Hmm.
that's not efficient. I need an entire 2 hours and I need a boot camp, right? This way that we
Yes.
approach things, trauma-informed care is going to be titrated. So just up what you can handle. And we hit your edge. Good, right at the edge. Now let's kind of,
Yep.
it's like a little pendulum. Now we're going to swing in. Can we touch on the memory? Can we touch it? Okay, let's swing back. That's trauma
That
informed.
makes so much sense. I know when I started breath work, it overwhelmed me. And I almost went into like fight or flight.
Yeah, you do.
Just, I would, I was like, I can't do this because it overwhelmed me. And it almost felt like I was smothering.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because, I mean, it was at the beginning of my journey. And I had a lot to heal and a lot to process and a lot to release. So, and I actually did not know everything that you just explained, but it makes so much sense. And I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate the fact that you meet everybody where they are,
Always.
right? Because we're all in different like places and you meet them there. So they are able to process and release and do all the things. So thank you for that. And thank you for being such a powerful part of people's healing journey.
Yeah, it's a
That
pleasure.
is beautiful. Um, so let's talk about microdosing. There are so many misconceptions. There are so many that don't know what it is or that have heard things, all this stuff. Take us down that road.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I could talk about it endlessly. It's my favorite topic. So when I got that spice jar and I started working
Mm-hmm.
with it that 9 years ago, the what I didn't know that I was doing, and I did somehow, somewhere inside of me was already a trauma-informed practitioner, is this idea of starting really low and going really slow as you
Mm-hmm.
incrementally increase. Everybody wants a protocol right off the bat. Tell me exactly what to take, how many days a week, right? This very masculine approach. And what I taught myself and what I now teach in my ministry and community is that we're all going to need a different dose completely. And I work with a liquid sacrament, which allows dosing to happen drop by drop. So you literally start with one drop of the sacrament. It's a nano dose. It's barely perceptible to some people, most people, but I'll tell you, I've got 3 or 4 women in the community that only take one drop, and that's
Really?
more than enough for them. It's
Yeah.
just enough to open the door. That's all they need in their titration. And so starting low and going slow is really key for working with any psychedelic. We all want like this big, I want a big ayahuasca journey, 3 in a row kind of thing.
Right.
Let's just knock out the trauma, right? And I get a lot
Yeah.
of those people when they've been traumatized by the big experience, the big breath
Yes.
work, the big psychedelic experience, and they need the baby. So just because your trauma feels really big doesn't mean you have to meet it with a really big solution. Knock it out.
So is that why you hear of bad experiences when people say they have a lot of trauma and they haven't processed and gone through all the things, and they're not that far in their healing journey, and then they have this big ayahuasca ceremony or go to a ceremony and they have like a bad experience? Is that why?
I think it definitely could contribute to it, that their nervous system literally can't hold the magnitude of what
Right.
they
Okay.
experience.
Yes, that makes sense.
Certainly the set and the setting could be off, right? The guy, the way the space is held, back to the trauma-informed tenants there, and a setting, maybe they were sitting next to someone and it reminded them of their dad and they felt unsafe, and then they take this medicine. And the beauty of psychedelics is that they reveal, they pull the curtain.
Right.
They show us, right? And so this person was shown like, oh, it really is, this is my wounding here, and this is beautiful, this is medicine. And you'll hear in the psychedelic world, there's no such thing as a bad trip because there's medicine that came from it. But someone that then comes out of that and they're literally dysregulated, shaking, anxious, triggered by everything for months and months, too much, too fast, too soon.
Yeah.
And that's the definition of trauma: too much, too fast, too soon. So we don't want to recreate that. It's why I'm passionate about the microdose. So yeah, low and slow. Now you can keep titrating up if your nervous system can handle it, if you're liking what's happening, if what's coming up and what's coming through is working for you, you can keep titrating up and experiencing larger doses. What I discovered is that the gains, what worked was when I worked with the medicine. We can't bring the Western paradigm to working with psychedelics and these, indigenous plant teachers. Like, it's not a pill in an orange pill bottle, and it's not a supplement that you brought from a supplement company either. The fungi has a consciousness. This is something you are working with. You are not taking it, right? You are in communion with. So even I still have to shift my language at times. Well, I took a microdose and it's all very casual. And the mushroom has taught me again and again, when I dose casually, like, I'm going to get a lesson, I'm going to get taught something really casually, or really, the mushroom's a teacher. That's grandfather medicine.
Right.
This is a teacher. So if you're meeting me this way, and because I'm a guide and I share the medicine, I think I get pretty harsh lessons, because I need to stay humble. But yeah, you're working with the medicine. You're working with yourself, the parts of yourself that are coming up. You're working with the, ego. You use the word ego. I use the word protective part, right? All that the ego is trying to protect. The ego, I don't believe, is bad. It's not trying to ruin my life. It's trying to protect me from feeling shame. It's trying to protect me from those vulnerable younger parts, so we can work with the protective part. Hey, thank you so much for keeping me safe all these years with defensiveness. I know that has served us really well. And we have these tools now, right?
I love this.
Now, so you can come with me, we can do it together, or you can hang back there while I come and do this, because I don't need this anymore.
Right.
So working with is what I've gotten out of the microdosing practice. Asking the mushrooms, setting an intention. Show me what it looks like to change my relationship with my partner. Show me what it looks like to speak confidently about my spirituality at this family gathering. Show me what I need to know to use my breath more efficiently. You can literally, wherever you are stuck, there's your intention. Someone says to me, but I don't know what intention to set. Great. Show me how to set intentions, sacred.
Ah, yes. That can be the first intention.
Right
it's
there.
Just show me the intention.
Show me how to feel you. Show me how to work with
yes.
you. Show me how to be in sacred reciprocity with you.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
I mean, as far as micro, and then of course we could, we can dig into different schedules. You can't microdose every day. People want to know what's the best schedule. It's like the best schedule is the one that works for you. And I'm constantly
Hmm.
tinkering with my schedule. I follow it intuitively. Is today a microdosing day or not? Right. I dosed just before we got on camera and just asked, allow my highest self to come through, allow the part of me
Hmm.
that is the most true and earnest to share this information to come through. So it's a prayer. It's not an intention, but
Yes.
it's a prayer. So be
So
in prayer.
why can't people microdose every day?
Mm. Yeah. So psychedelics are sort of self-correcting in that you can't really get addicted to them, because if you
Hmm.
did and you use them every day, you lose the ability to start to feel them. You need the
Mm,
contrast. You'll just numb the impact, basically.
I
You'll
see.
you'll you'll blunt it. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it forces you to have days where you don't get to rely on and lean on the medicine, and you don't lose the learning and the teaching that happened when you were in communion with the medicine. It's not like a pharmaceutical or a supplement. You can
Right.
I take what I've learned and grown with, and I'll have days and weeks where I'm like, oh man, I haven't microdosed and I haven't needed it. Whereas in
Yeah.
the beginning, it was on my bedside table. And as soon as I opened my eyes, it was like, I can't get out of bed
Do
for
it now. Is it time? Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, so microdosing is an art and it's a science and it's a spiritual act. And the way I teach it in the community is to combine it with embodiment, which is just
Hmm.
being aware of your body from within your body while you're using your body. That's it. That could be a
Hmm.
walk in nature without your phone, where you're
Mm.
looking more at the trees in the sky and you're noticing, oh, I'm thinking of my to-do list. Let me bring myself back to my senses and be present. That could be
Yes.
embodiment. It could be weightlifting. So we have people that take the sacrament before they do CrossFit or lift weights, and they say that their
Mm.
inner critic is quieter and
Mm.
they're more empowered in what they're doing. My preferred is breathwork, hypnosis, meditation, anything where I am on my mat and just allowing myself to feel the sensations, feel my feelings, let a big
Mhm.
sob out, do a silent scream, and then feel peace wash over me and get to imprint that sensation.
Yes. And so, what should someone? I know it is not one size fits all because, and you've explained that, right? But if you if someone were to ask you that was thinking about microdosing or they were about to do it for the first time, what should they expect?
Yeah, it's a good question. It is different for everyone. I would say it falls into two main categories. Some people do experience an immediate shift in the uncomfortable symptoms of, say, anxiety or depression.
Mm-hmm.
The psilocybin or psilocin, which is what it's converted to after it comes in contact with your stomach acid, works in the 5-H2A receptor, which is just our serotonin receptor. That receptor site gets it's like a little puzzle piece that gets plugged in. And so there is for many people like a natural lift that starts to happen.
Mm.
You can shift out of the default mode in the brain, especially over long-term use, that black and white, that rigid thinking that I'm right, you're
Mm-hmm.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about with religion and dogma,
Yeah.
you start to like, oh, how interesting. I see a possibility here. It's going to open up I call them aha days in my early days of microdosing, because I'd have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of like, aha.
Yeah.
I see how I'm getting in my own way, right? I see what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, aha days.
Hmm.
So they're a feel good community member just started dosing 2 weeks ago. She's married to someone with complex trauma. He's a veteran. She's experienced
Mm.
her own trauma from being in a relationship with someone with complex trauma
Yes.
from combat. And she said within an hour of her first 3 drops, she had relief from the anxiety that had been plaguing her for years and years.
Mm.
So beautiful
Wow.
when we get those stories of someone who's like, I can breathe, right? Okay,
Yes.
something has shifted, something has opened up. And then the second group, which I think is more common in our community, especially because the medicine is really imbued with this energy of like, show me, I am willing to see,
Hmm.
open it up to me. Some uncomfortable sensations, some emotions
Mm.
that you've been like, if you're real good at like, I'm stuffing it down, it's like, good. I literally can't. The medicine has a purging effect too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
sweating, shaking, crying, feeling, the dose may be too, when someone says, I'm really uncomfortable, it's like, that's too high. Like, take it down,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're not here
Mm-hmm.
to make you burst into tears at work every day, right? That isn't the goal.
Right.
And it's going to start to show you what you are hiding from yourself. And that's ultimately the path to healing. It's not to just medicate away from the
Mm-hmm.
discomfort. It's to have the capacity to be able to sit with and see, oh, I see. I see what
Yes.
you're doing. Some people, while some might cry, others feel rage, irritation, anger, just bubbling to the surface. And that's not uncommon, especially this like low grade feeling of irritability, like just something's kind of off.
Mm.
What's here? And this is why I'm so passionate about the breath work or any embodiment practice, any movement, intentional movement, because that energy needs a path out. It's like a soda bottle that got shook up in the car, right? And there's all of this energy there. And you know how important it is to move that. A lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
someone who's coming to microdosing is not aware of this.
Well, I
That-
would like for you to explain that a little bit more too, as far as moving the energy, because I honestly don't think that this is just something that we're not taught as kids or as growing up or our healing journey or grow at anything.
We're
When
told,
we're,
suck it up, put it away, go to your room.
yeah, yes, yes. And then even like moving and dancing and walking and screaming or silent scream, all of that is moving energy.
Boom.
We're not doing it just for the heck of it or just for fun or, it can be fun and it can, obviously, but it's moving energy. Kind of explain that a little bit more so people will understand that, because again, we don't know what we don't know.
We don't. And it's conditioned out of us to some effect, because when we look at indigenous communities, at night, there would be a fire and people would be hooting and hollering and dancing and moving and
Mm-hmm.
alchemizing the day, right? Moving
Yes.
the energy of the day.
That's why they did
Yeah,
it.
that's why they did it.
Yes.
We're so sedentary, and even those of us who are active and who do get outside, I was trained in meditation, and so my impetus would be, okay, I'm agitated, let me sit with it, but I would constantly just try and calm down. Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have to calm down. I have to calm down. And
Mm-hmm.
in that way, I kept repressing it and suppressing it,
Yeah.
really. And nothing wrong with meditation. Breathwork is a meditative act. And I think the idea in the spiritual communities, especially, is that we can't lose our cool. We can't get upset, because that is the programming, right? It's not okay to be angry. And what I teach, and
Yeah.
especially to parents and with children, is that we have to tease apart the emotion from the behavior, right? It is okay to be angry. It's not okay to hurt someone or yourself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It
Huge
is
difference.
okay to be sad. It's not okay to hurt someone or yourself.
We have emotions for a reason.
And when we
Yes.
don't express them, emotions just being one energetic charge, we have an incomplete emotional response in the system. Same from a
Thank
nervous
you.
system standpoint. You wanted to run, you weren't safe, you didn't run, you froze, something happened to you. There's an incomplete flight response in your nervous system. So now you want to run all the time when something triggers you, right? Because you're trying to
Yes.
complete this response. So I see it as like loops that are closing, energetic loops that are closing. A lot of us have a lot of open loops. And when we can allow ourselves to, man, a silent scream, I know I said it earlier, I will model it for your community, is so satisfying. Nobody has to hear it. I'll do it in the bathroom. You're going to inhale through the nose. And when you exhale, allow your face and your hands and your mouth to make the shape of a scream. And you're going to scream silently from the back of your throat. It's going to send a cue to your nervous system that you screamed for help. Ready? I'm going to do it. Right? Looks crazy. Feels amazing. Okay, so
I
right
felt
now,
that.
I've just got a
Mm-hmm.
rush of heat that rose up, and now it's starting to settle. So that I got to stay calm. I got to stay calm. I got to stay calm. One of my teachers always says, sometimes you have to go up to go down.
Yep.
You got
That's
to
right.
discharge that energy. So people who love to go for a run, right? I think that's energetic. I think that's emotional. They need to go for the run to get that
Yeah.
charge of energy to exercise whatever it is. So there can be little moments, little breaths where you let that energy build and you let it come out, and then you support yourself to come back down again. So we got to release energy however you want. Go see a practitioner if you want to keep paying for energy release, but we've got what we need to be able to do that. Someone who loves to vent to their friend, their venting releases energy. It can also
Yes.
reinforce a lot of, negative thought loops.
Yeah.
But some sort of healthy version of that, more movement, more sound, more voice, more breath, all of that is going to be beneficial to the healing journey.
And this has been around for years and years and years and years.
But now it looks weird, right? Or, it's just,
Right.
don't do
Right.
that. Why are you doing
Yeah.
that? You look like a weirdo, right? But look at kids. Kids are really good at this. We condition it out of them. I have to try
Yes.
really hard with my little guy, but he will just randomly stand up and do some weird thing and then sit
They're
back.
moving energy.
Yes.
Yes. They're doing what their bodies are telling them to do.
Sit still. And it's like, he can't. He has energy to move. He's got a lot of emotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Absolutely. Ah, I love that.
Yeah, we got to normalize the body's response, the way our bodies want to move and make noise. It needs to be more normalized in our culture. And it is normalized in breathwork and embodiment and somatic communities, I'm sure, with body code and emotion code. It's like if someone needs to do some weird stuff while you're working with them, great.
Yeah, let them.
Yes.
So, okay, the energy movement and us moving this energy out of our bodies or through our bodies and all this stuff versus suppressing and not allowing ourselves to move the energy. Compare that. What does one look like compared to the other?
Well, stagnant energy in the body is going to lead to problems, body, mind, and spirit. I mean, it's what physical illness is in a lot of
Right.
ways, right? And it happens on the
Yes.
physical plane last. It's
Mm-hmm.
been happening emotionally, energetically, spiritually, all these things, and then it's going to cement into the physical body. But yeah, that stagnant state, I mean, that's why I hit my wall at 40 years. I literally couldn't hold it in anymore. I spent a whole decade after 9/11. I was a New Yorker. I did not cry, right? I was just I just went numb around it all. I cared so much, and it was so big and it was so traumatic that I went into shutdown around my emotions. And so, yeah, autoimmune diseases, severe allergies, chronic pain, despite there being no structural problems. A lot of back pain and neck pain is very closely related to this kind of suppression. And then almost always with panic attacks, right? That is, the body is desperately trying to, usually grief and rage are completely unexpressed in people with panic attacks. I have never met someone, and I've met hundreds of people with, I need to microdose because I have panic attacks. And it's, tell me about how you express your emotions. And they say, oh, I don't.
Don't.
I just
I
don't.
don't.
When you don't, it doesn't go away when you put it down. It's still there. It's going to come out another way. And so, yeah, I mean, we could list, and then spiritual disconnection. Look, this is what disconnects us from ourselves, from God, and from other people. Trauma, and then this continual disconnection of expression of ourselves is really what trauma becomes for us. Disconnection from all three: God, self, and other. And the process of healing is about reconnection. And so, in order to do that, we need to be able to connect with the part of ourselves that needs to go.
Yes.
Make an ugly face and not
Yeah.
apologize and, wipe away the tears and I gotta make it stop. I gotta push it back down again.
No.
And then in someone who is expressed, I mean, there's freedom there, right? There's authenticity there. There's not the absence of symptoms necessarily, but there's an awareness of how to meet yourself and work with yourself, the parts of yourself, ask for help from God, and truly be integrated as a person, more whole.
Yes. So, how many times have you seen someone who starts moving the energy, breath work, microdosing, how many times have you watched their body heal itself?
Oh gosh, that's the most fun part.
I know.
Yeah, you see it in your work too. Yeah, just, they're there because of their anxiety and they breathe and they sit up and they're like, well, not only is the anxiety gone, but I don't have that weird back pain that I've, had for 6
Yeah.
months, or
Mm-hmm.
my jaw is unlocking, right? TMJ, like all of these
Mm-hmm.
ways that we just think are these random symptoms, right? That's all connected to nervous system and the work that we're talking about here. So yeah, it never gets boring to hear someone share what's shifting for them, even in, it, some people are scared to microdose because there's a relationship that's out of integrity, right? Maybe the marriage is out of integrity and they know that the truth is going to come out. And that's
Wow.
if microdosing isn't for that person, but they're very curious, right? And so that's kind of a little like warning, like may lead to authenticity and the complete inability to be able to stay in situations, jobs. A lot of people quitting their
Right.
jobs after they start microdosing, right? It's like any spiritual awakening, but it expedites that
Mm-hmm.
process of someone being like, I literally can't tolerate being in this thing that isn't for me
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's so powerful.
Yeah, look,
Yeah.
we're here to be who we are.
No.
No, the awakening is an unbecoming of all of who we are not.
Most of us miss that memo through life.
I
And in
know.
our 40s, we were like, hey, wait, late 30s.
I know. And truly, I
Yeah,
think that's what the midlife crisis is. I mean, it's just,
I do
oh,
too.
here's all the things
I,
that I'm not.
I know. And I've been living what I am not for my whole life.
Yeah, and I can't do it anymore. I can't live
Yeah.
a lie.
So, what do people need to know before? And I know we talked about a lot about microdosing, but I just, so before they start the journey, what do you tell them? What do they need to know about this? How do they need to prepare? And I know you've talked about that some, but
Yeah.
say I was going to start my journey, what would you tell me?
Well, the first technical piece, it isn't for everyone, especially if someone's taking an SSRI or a benzodiazepine medication. That
Mm-hmm.
serotonin receptors already got the SSRI in there, so you may
Mm-hmm.
not even feel the microdose, the impact of the microdose. So, food for thought there. A benzodiazepine, something like Xanax or Klonopin, is used for large dose psychedelic journeys to abort the journey. If someone is completely okay,
Mm.
a Xanax will actually like you know,
Oh,
negate or blunt the journey. So you can't take a Xanax at night and take your microdose in the morning and expect to have
wow.
a typical experience. It's only unfortunate. And I mention that because so many of the people who seek out microdosing are those who are sick of the SSRIs and sick of the benzodiazepines.
Mm.
They need a more
Mm-hmm.
holistic solution, but it does require that those people safely taper with a doctor off of those medications before they can really work with psychedelics, especially sacred mushrooms. So that's just want to pin that there for safety, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Second thing that I would say people need to know, beyond the like warning may cause authenticity disclaimer that we
I
just talked
love
about.
that. That is the best warning. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but that is the best warning I've ever heard.
I'm gonna have to have that
That's
sign.
my favorite.
It's that it's you can't make it do for you what you want it to do for you.
Yeah.
Right? It's frustrating for some people because it's like, well, what do I say? What intention do I set? What schedule do I follow to so it can make me finish my book, right? Or be
Yeah.
productive at work? Because right now it's just making me like cry every time I think about my dad's gift that I never processed. And that's not, and my neighbor said it helped him focus at work. So I wanted to do that. It's not really how it works, right?
Yeah.
They may need a different psychedelic. If they want to look at it through that lens, go ahead, try a different psychedelic or, a different practitioner. Really, in the way that I work is that we humbly come to the sacred mushroom and ask, show me the way, show me what's in the
Mm-hmm.
way. And look, this person's inability to focus on work is directly tied to the thing over here that's coming up that they don't want to look at. They want to just
Mm-hmm.
past that and get to the benefit. And it's really not how it works. It's going to show you what's in the way of where you want to go. And sometimes there's
Yes.
a lot of shit in the way before you can get to totally, expressed at work and like living my best life.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's probably the main thing. You can't make it, but my journey has really evolved with it. I can use it more now for focus because
Mm-hmm.
backlog of stuff has been cleared, and
Yeah.
because I know how to work with myself, and because I can call on the part of me that uses distraction as a protective mechanism and say, hey, again, working
Yeah.
with yourself, thank you so much for distracting me from the painful things. And I really want to finish writing this book. So how can we work together
Mhm.
here? Or how can you step aside to allow me to lean into this?
I love that because that is loving and respecting every part of ourselves.
Yeah, we don't make progress when we try to like judge or push away or
You're
control
right.
parts of ourselves. It's just like with people, it's not effective, right? The more I try to make my 9-year-old like go away when he needs me, the more he's
Mm.
climbing up me, right?
Yes.
How can I meet the need and be really clear and loving? And then
Mm.
move on. So, yeah, parts work, that's what I call that. That's based on internal family systems. It's a beautiful framework, but the idea that we have many protective parts, right? I've got a defensive one, I've got a distracted one, I've got an angry one, but they're all protecting those vulnerable little
Yeah.
Ry, all the little ones of me who don't want to feel like I was a bad girl and I made a mistake and I should feel shame. And so when we can work with those protectors to get to those younger parts, and build that bridge of trust and be able to say like, hey honey, I got you, I'm right here with you. I mean, healing is exponential from that place. Like, I think inner child work is a non-negotiable. I have to be honest. Like, I don't you don't have to remember the terrible things that happened to you, but you have
Right.
to be willing to connect to the part that experienced those things.
Yes. You don't necessarily have to live through every single thing that you lived through. That's not what I think that people get the wrong idea too, because and I've heard that just being in this community the short time that I've been in is they talk about the inner child work and it's not necessary and you don't have to relive, but I just think that we have the wrong idea about that. No one is asking you to relive every horrible bad thing that happened to you. You don't have to do that, but you do have to address the parts of you that were hurt
Mhm.
and the parts that you suppressed and that have been lingering in your body for all these years and hurting you physically, emotionally, like all the stuff. And so you can then heal and release that part.
Boom. Yeah.
Like finally release it.
Well, you're releasing the emotional turmoil.
Right.
You're
Yes.
drawing the part comes home, right? There's an
Yes. Yeah.
integration of part. The part can actually come closer, and
So you're healing that part
yeah,
and releasing the emotional. That's right.
and when people
Mm-hmm.
think you don't need to relive the memory, guess what? You're reliving it every day when you're triggered and making it about your boss or making it about your mom.
Yeah, that's right.
You are
Yes.
reliving it. Yeah.
That's right.
I fully agree. We don't have to go back into the memory, although I will say, and I do have a group, an accelerated group program more for advanced self healers. It's called Transforming Trauma. We do something called a memory renegotiation, and I also
Mm.
do this during some one-on-one experiences with the right people who can handle it. But when someone's nervous system is expanded enough and they can hold enough, we do tiptoe back into that memory as our highest self, as the resource healed self that we are
Mm.
now, and we do bring a squad, a posse, a group, a spirit team. Like my husband brings in Gandalf from Lord of the Rings, and I bring in Mary Magdalene, or, you could bring
Mm-hmm.
in your grandma or your coach from high school. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Resource yourself, right? This is a big part of the work that I do too. You go into sacred space with the team and we tiptoe into that memory and we renegotiate it. We redo it.
Mm.
The brain doesn't know time, right? It doesn't know what's really
Thank you. Yeah, that's
what
right.
it's imagining. So let's tiptoe in and let's meet little Ry and let's let her know
Mm-hmm.
that she didn't do anything wrong. And let's actually let this
Oh,
adult.
that's powerful. Go
Oh,
ahead.
girl, it is without a doubt one of the most transformative things that I've seen guided people through.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really beautiful. I mean, huge shift in the way that I was treating my children and my husband when I came out of one
Mm.
of those experiences with my teacher. Just unlocked some shame from 8-year-old me, let her know
Mm.
she did nothing wrong, held her, took her out of there, put her in a sweet car, took her out for ice cream. Like, you can tell that story again and your nervous system and your younger part and your brain and body believe it. They update. It's like a virus on the hard drive, just whoop, update. That's it. And every time that shame comes up, like I can go right back into the memory, right back to her saying, no, 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 I got you. I'm here. I'm right here with
Hmm.
It's profound.
This is so powerful just listening to you. And that, what could that do? How could that help so many?
Imagine if that's what was happening to everyone when they went to therapy every week. Instead of
Yes.
talking about what's
Yes.
wrong, right?
Yes.
Let's go in and reprogram and repattern safe and resourced. It's game changing. I want to do, as
Yes.
soon as I learn to do it, I'm like writing out all the list of members. I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to go to this one. It's great.
I know. And so many times, and not to talk about therapy, or I mean,
Sure.
everything has a place.
Yes.
But talk therapy, many times people are just simply reliving
Mhm.
that moment over and over and over, and we're actually making it worse in some cases. I'm not saying every case by any means,
Yep.
but
For sure.
like, yes,
Talking is just using one part of our brain, and it's just using language.
that's right.
When we heal, we need to be in other parts of our brain. We need to be in more of a meditative space. We need to shift those brain waves.
Yeah.
That's when we imprint it. That's why I love a breathwork journey. Just 5 minutes of breath and then hold your breath. And then I'm going to take you into something like, oh, you can feel that slowing down happening. And I didn't have to fight through 40 minutes of
Mm.
meditation. I used the breath
Yes,
and I got here
yes.
fast. So, and there's lots of ways to do it. Hypnosis, Reiki, what you do, emotional body code. There's no one way, but you
Right.
cannot heal from a stressed out state saying to yourself, I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe, like repeating a mantra 1,000 times. It's just
Exactly.
means nothing to your body and your nervous system and your brain.
No. If anything, it's making it worse.
Well, you're gaslighting yourself.
Well, that I was about to say those same words. Yes, absolutely.
Don't feel safe. It's like a parent telling a little kid who's crying, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. That does
Yes,
damage.
yes. And it's like, don't think of a pink elephant. What'd you do? Think of a pink elephant. Like you get it. It's not possible. Like if you say I'm safe, I'm safe, I'm safe. You're not safe, or you don't feel safe, rather. So yeah, yes, that is huge. That's exciting.
Oh, girl, we can do a memory renegotiation. Let's do a session.
Yeah, I think well, I know we need to. We are for sure.
It'll be
I'm
fun.
excited. Well, let's touch on breath work a little bit more. I know we touched on it earlier. Explain why that is so effective, and that is a vital part of our
Yes.
healing journey and all the stuff.
Yes. I'm so glad you asked this because I even want to try and think of a word besides breath work because everyone sees breath work as, okay, it's another thing I have to find time for. I have to sit down. I combine it in
Mm-hmm.
categories. Yes, you can sit down. I laid down for 7 minutes before we got on this call and I did 7 minutes
Mm-hmm.
of breath, right? Like a little bit of time, a lot of payoff. And
Mm-hmm.
working the breath, that's all it means. Working the breath can be something that you bring into every moment of your life.
Mm-hmm.
The breath is like a lever for our consciousness. It's like, boom, right? I'm going to start breathing. Oh, I'm going to start being more aware of. I can now
Mm.
witness what's happening. I can bring myself into that more meditative, conscious space when I begin to move air. That's it. You don't need a fancy pattern. You don't need to count. If those things help, great. But literally just move more air than you were the moment
Mm-hmm.
before in and out of your body. And you are going to go a long way to putting yourself in more of the healing space.
Right.
That said, having a 2 or 3 minute, even 30 seconds where you can move some air. Actually, can we try it right now? Just 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to invite you to 30 seconds of, we're going to blow air. And the blow breath is all done through the mouth. So we're going to inhale
Mm-hmm.
through the mouth just passively and exhale like we're blowing out a birthday candle. That's it. 30 seconds. Keep blowing out candles with me. That's it. Just like that. And you can go nice and slow if it starts to feel weird or you start to get dizzy. Yep. Slow it down. Yep. Slower. Yeah, because it's a lot. 20 more seconds. Or you can do tiny little blows. Just like that, Jennifer. Beautiful. 15 seconds. And you might feel a little uncomfortable. That's normal. We're creating some activation. Yeah, you might feel like you want to stop. You might feel a little dizzy. All of that is safe and normal. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let go. No effort. Just notice.
Mm.
You can take whatever kind of breath you want.
I feel that through my whole body.
Yeah, what do you feel? What does it feel like?
It feels very calming is the first word that comes to me.
Great.
Almost, my body is almost like tingling.
Beautiful. So just stay with that
Yes.
tingling sensation for a second there. And then I'm going to invite you to inhale in through your nose and hold your breath at the top. Just hold here. And when we take a breath retention, when we hold, we're just allowing all of the excess oxygen that we put in our system to be processed. And a lot of times this comes with an energetic settling. When you exhale, when you're ready to exhale, I'm going to push that air out, and then you're going to hold your breath at the bottom. And you can imagine, there you go. Now hold at the bottom. Just imagine everything, all that energy that doesn't belong to you, that isn't needed, falling off of you right now onto the ground, into the earth to be composted. And breathe whenever you're ready. Yeah. Let's hear
Wow.
now.
It's almost surreal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the
Trip.
first word that comes to my mind.
Yeah. A little trippy. Great.
Yes.
Because you've just in less than 1 minute taken yourself out of the structured state that you are used to,
Yes.
right? Okay, I'm doing a podcast interview. This is how I hold myself, like normal,
Mm-hmm.
right? And what you just did was expand your consciousness in 1 minute just by working the breath. That is breath work. That's it. I will do that in the car when I start to feel like I'm late. I will do
Mm-hmm.
in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Do it on the toilet. You can do it wherever you have
Anywhere.
in it. My kids are used to it now. I can watch my kids now take their breaths because I've
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
modeled in relationship with them, even stopping a conversation to even 3 of those. And then, oh, okay. I just moved more air. I just worked the breath. So now I am more resourced. Now I have moved some energy. And sometimes after a minute of the blow breath, Jennifer, that's a silent scream for me, or that's like a full body, like, blah,
Yes.
brought it
Yes.
up to the surface. And now I
Yes.
can move it. It was like right there, but I couldn't quite get at it. Now there it is. Okay. So the breath is a really powerful tool. It's not optional. We have to breathe anyway. So why not breathe a little
Right.
bit of intention and a little bit more oomph? And then you
Mm-hmm.
can use the breath to down regulate. You can bring a breath that's a gentle inhale through the nose and a super long exhale, as long as you can exhale from the mouth. That's helpful at night when you can't fall asleep and you're in bed and you think, let me just grab
Mm.
my phone. I'm not tired yet. You are tired, right? But you're in that structured place, that structured mind.
Yes.
The breath is just going to be that lever shifting, down regulating. Oh, I can feel the sheets under me. Oh, my bed really is
Mm.
comfortable. Oh, I feel the air in my nose and mouth come down to the body and out of the mind. It's an extremely practical tool.
So where can someone find, I mean, I know that you've done videos on TikTok with breath work.
But there's
So if
so many
someone was,
people out there. Yeah, I
right.
mean, come find me, Embodied Microdosing. I do throw some breathwork out there. Inside my ministry, I have a private app. There's free breathwork available to everyone in that space. Breathwork Church, the
Mm.
first Sunday of every month. But oodles of free resources out there. There's this guy on YouTube, Breathwork with Sandy. He's incredible. He shoots these gorgeous videos and you hear him breathing with you, and it is a lot of counting and rounds, but you can go as soft and gentle as you want, or you can really breathe it out with him. I'll put some of his stuff on sometimes. There's no shortage of ways that you can be guided in breath work. And I think one of the most powerful things you can do is learn to do what I just did with you. Everyone here who just listened to that, go do that 3 times in the next 24 hours, and you will have that as a tool forever.
That is another tool that I have in my belt loop right there. Like, I will use that because I did have the feelings, the responses, with recording the podcast and feeling rushed and, working to all those things. And I'm telling you, and I know you know, but I'm telling anyone listening that when we finished that 1 minute of breath work, all of that was gone. Like, I feel like I'm sitting here with a friend that I have had for years, and it is so comfortable wow.
It can be
Like, we need these tools.
Yes, and it can be that simple. We overcomplicate it. I don't know how, and I don't have the time, and I don't have the right recording, and I don't have the right resource. I have a class inside of my ministry, inside of my app. It's called Everyday Breathwork, and it's a 45-minute class, and I just teach these four patterns that you can use in a multitude of ways, and that's it. You take that. Many of the people in my community took that class and then took it out into the world and were able to tell me, I'm not screaming at my kids. I can get through, I can get through a meeting at work, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And it's not all calming down. It's not take 10 deep breaths so you don't lose your cool, right? That's helpful.
Right.
And take some breaths so you can actually feel who the F you are right now and know what you need to do next and are not caught up in everything else.
Well, guess what my family's doing tonight? We're all going to practice this. Thank you, Ry. And they're going to thank you too.
I love it. I have an image to do a masterclass when I'm ready. Breathwork for families and kids. Kids are so good.
Oh, yes.
Kids are amazing at it. I mean, my teenager's like, you're not going to make me do breathwork, right? He's a teenager about it. But my 9-year-old, he'll say to me, Mom, you really need to do a breath right now, right? Like, I do.
Love that.
Right.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's talk about your ministry.
Yes.
And what do you offer? Do you have like group sessions, all this stuff? Tell people how they can find you and what they can expect, because I am super excited about working with you in the future. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
I love it. I can't wait to support you. So my ministry, this is a church ministry. I'm a legal church. And so I'm an ordained minister, and the sacred mushroom is our sacrament, like our communion, our offering. So we take it with intention. And the church ministry is located on a network called Mighty Networks. It's just a free place for you to sign up and come on in the doors and have access to the free breathwork and the free monthly breathwork church event that I offer. It also gives you a masterclass and places to get your microdosing questions answered and get yourself sorted out in terms of how to work with the sacrament, and a free community, a place for you to ask questions and receive guidance and coaching from me. I'm in there every day. It's my favorite place to hang out. There's almost 200 people in the ministry at this point, and
beautiful.
We just launched at the beginning of the year, so it's been I've been for a while, but officially became a church about 6 months ago. So feel so blessed to have the church ministry online, and inviting anyone to come on in and visit embodiedmicrodosing.com, and you can get access to the ministry and also to the sacrament. Now, beyond that, if you did want to invest, the Journey to Heal Breathwork membership is where I do these guided breathwork healing journeys that I've been talking about here. This place where I can take you into those slower brain waves and take you into guided visualization after we do some breathing and huffing and puffing and moving and crying and all of the somatic things that need to happen in order for us to get to that healing state. It's a safe and beautiful sacred space. That's a $49 a month investment, and we meet twice a month for those journeys. They're 75 minutes long. There's also a whole library of recordings available to those members.
And that's online?
That's all through the ministry. Yep. That's all through the ministry app. Yes, it's online. I also do in-person work in Wilmington, North Carolina. If you're in that region, or some people travel there to do sessions, that's a guided breathwork and microdosing journey that we'll do in a salt cave or in an energetic enhancement system space, like these beautiful spaces where we meet. Those are always good opportunities. And then, yes, I do some one-on-one work, larger dose medicine work, and one-on-one microdose guided work sessions in small blocks. I homeschool an 8-year-old. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I take someone for a few hours, and would be honored to work with anyone. I typically don't like to do just one session with someone. We really need, to build that rapport, but I will if that's what someone wants and needs. needs. And beyond that, yeah, I've been known to show up at a group of friends if someone puts together a group and they want to have an experience, microdose or a larger dose. And I just encourage anyone to reach out if they think that I could be a support for their healing journey.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Um, so if someone feels disconnected or afraid to begin healing, what would you say to them?
It's so beautiful. And that just shows me your love for people.
Oh,
You
yes,
like
yes.
you are so aware, you're so empathetic, you're so aware that there is fear and trepidation and
Mm-hmm,
nervousness at all
mm-hmm,
stages of the journey, working with psychedelics or not. Like this is intense, right? And it's that nervous system.
mm-hmm,
It's like you may fear is tricky, right? Because it's a messenger. And it can
mm-hmm.
also be firing on high alert because there's an unhealed part and it's keeping you
Right.
from making progress, right? So it's like, how do we honor and find whether this is an authentic, not for me or not yet, or when do we know
Yes.
that fear is running the show, right?
I believe with so many, fear is running the show.
Yeah,
Probably majority of the people.
for sure.
And it can be heartbreaking because when you see it, you can't unsee it. And you just, it's like we want the healing for everybody, even though like they're not ready. We're all on our own journey. But many people are run by fear, and
Yeah.
that is running the show for them.
It's such a valid point, and it's sad. And it's fueled by our society, which creates more fear to keep
Yeah.
you in
Yes.
control and enslaved and spending
Yes.
money and, and all the things.
All the stuff.
Yeah. So, first, I would say try working with the part of you that's experiencing fear. Again, we don't want
Mm,
to like, oh, this fear is ruining my life. F it,
right.
go away, right? It's not going to go anywhere by pushing it away. So, come here, right? How
Yeah.
can I support you? What do you really need? Underneath these dysregulated states are unmet needs, right? We need to get to the
Mm-hmm.
need. What is it that this part of me really needs? And so yeah, see if you can work with the part of you that feels fear. Certainly choose practitioners that are going to be trauma informed and sensitive to the energetic experience of fear that you're having. Be
Mm-hmm.
honest with the practitioner too. I'm afraid and I need to go slowly, right? Using the information you've learned in this podcast about titration, like I just need a little bit at a time.
Yeah. And
And
it's
then,
okay to be afraid.
oh,
It's completely okay.
more acceptance, more acceptance. The way that
Yes.
you talk to yourself matters. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
afraid and you're also piling on top of that, I'm such a stupid piece of crap because I'm
Yeah.
afraid, right? That's
Yeah.
way more than just fear, right? There's a lot of layers compounding there, a lot of shame. So I'm afraid. I know it's scary to do this healing work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right here with you. I've got you. What do we need to feel safe? And then resource yourself. So many people who are living in fear are not resourced. They're completely
Mm.
untethered, right? So get barefoot outside, right? Drink some
Mm-hmm.
mineral rich water, eat some protein, right? That your actual physical body holds your nervous system and you can ground
Mm-hmm.
that more down into the earth with the choices that you're making and then say a prayer. I think people really forget that we can pray all the time. Like, don't
Yes.
have to say something fancy. It doesn't have to feel like magic. You don't
Yeah.
have to feel like you're magically connected to God in the moment you pray. Just out loud, if you can, help me. I need help. Show me the way. How do I get resourced? What's my next step? Right. And then take a breath and take another breath and start to just slowly build that trust with God and with yourself and with your nervous system. And then it takes bravery, this work. You have to
Yeah.
bravely take a tiny, tiny step and show yourself, oh, I didn't die. I didn't die. Okay.
I'm good.
I'm
Next.
good.
Yes. Yes.
So that's my best advice for someone who's afraid.
That's amazing. And if you do ask for guidance, you will get it.
Always, always,
Always. We
always.
have to be willing to listen and to hear, but you will get the guidance if you ask for it. So it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be vulnerable. In society, we are taught that it's not okay to be vulnerable, but oh, in that state, the amount that we can receive and learn and give,
That's
it's
where the
just
magic
beautiful.
happens. Yep. And that's the
Yeah.
reconnection. That's where we heal when we reconnect with God, with ourselves, and with others and start to build that trust again.
Yes. Yes. This is This has been amazing. So tell people how they can find you. I know you're on TikTok. I know you have your app and all. Explain everything to us
Okay.
again.
Yeah, on social media, if that's your thing, I try to post one TikTok a day over on TikTok. I think it's the greatest platform. People have been so welcoming and
Yeah.
warm. I really like the community on TikTok. I'm embodied microdosing there. Same on Instagram. I'm mostly active in stories. Instagram has pretty much shadow banned me for expressing my opinion on everything over the last 5 years and working with psychedelics, and I'm fine with that. But I am
Mm-hmm.
in stories and I'm active in stories and I talk to y'all like you're just my friends hanging out with me. And so that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then visit my website, embodiedmicrodosing.com. That's going to give you the option. It's just a one-page website. It's going to give you an introduction to me and to my philosophy and to the ministry. And then it's just going to give you two choices. Do you want to go into the app and be part of the ministry? Do you want to come in and do the free breathwork in the breathwork church and have access to the sacrament? Great. Or you can go right to the sacrament shop and take a look at the offerings there. There are 3 sizes for working with the sacred mushroom, and I make medicines to work in complement with it. I'm really big on flowers, passion flower, rose,
Mm-hmm.
hibiscus, all of these amazing energetic plants that can support us. And just come hang out. You can send me an email, send me a message, reach out to me by DM on social. I love helping people get started. I love newbies. I love when someone is nervous, but they just have a question. There's no
Yeah.
dumb question. Just come and
No.
ask it. If you feel a tug, if you feel a yes, if you feel pulled to something, trust that. That's how you build that trust back with yourself and follow through, send the message. I'll respond.
Perfect. Oh, I love it. Your ministry is so powerful. Um, and gosh, it's a powerful reminder that healing is not about fixing who we are. It's about remembering who we've been always been beneath the noise and the trauma and the programming. So this has been such an enlightening conversation. And I'm so very grateful that you joined me tonight.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. I really enjoyed your questions and your curiosity and your willingness to do a little bit of breath work and model that with
Yes.
your community. I can't wait to hear how that works for you in your everyday life. And then yeah, come on in and let's do a journey and go even deeper when you're ready.
I'm ready, and we definitely will, and I'm super excited. So to everyone listening, remember that you are not alone on this journey and you're exactly where you're meant to be. Until next time, take care of your heart, trust your intuition, and we will see you soon.